Today we are going to discuss another numerical on nozzles which is based on supersaturation. So the question is, a convergent divergent nozzle operates with 5 kg of steam per minute being discharged at 1 bar. For the steam supplied to nozzle being at 10 bar and 200 degrees Celsius and supersaturation occurring up to throat and normal afterwards, determine the diameter of nozzle at exit, the maximum degree of supersaturation, the amount of undercooling at throat. So these are the three things we have to find. The inlet condition of the nozzle is given as 10 bar and 200 degrees Celsius, and the exit condition is given as 1 bar. The mass flow rate is given as 5 kg per minute. Fine. So as we know that the law of supersaturation takes place at PV to the power 1.3 is equal to constant, and this can also be written, and this is what this is P2 upon P1 is equal to T1 upon T2, T2 upon T1 raised to the power n minus 1, n upon n minus 1. So this is same as the formula we have already used. So pressure at the throat, as we have calculated it multiple times now, so it is P2 is equal to P1 into 2 upon n plus 1 raised to the power n minus 1. This is using the derivation we have done in the earlier videos, and it is given in the books also. Then P2 can also be written as 0.546. It is 5.546 into P1, which is calculated by this formula only by putting n is equal to 1.3. So we obtain the intermediate pressure or throat pressure as P2 is equal to 5.45 bar. So now we know the inlet condition, the throat condition, and the exit condition. So point 1, that is the inlet condition, is 10 bar and 200 degrees Celsius. It is superheated condition. You will see it from the steam table or from the Mollier chart. So we can have H1, S1 and V1 from the steam table, or we can have it from the Mollier chart. Now we know that C2, this question is a bit different in terms of calculations. So we will have certain changes because the question is about the supersaturation. So for that we need to calculate the enthalpies in a different manner. We cannot approximate it to S1 is equal to S2 double dash and then we can have the X2 double dash, but we need to have the this condition which is not the isentropic condition. So we need to do this in a different manner because of the supersaturation. So C2, the formula of C2 I have taken from the derivation that we have did in the earlier videos. So C2 is equal to this, and from this I can write C2 square upon 2 is equal to this. Then C2 square by 2 is basically H1 upon H2 dash. How we can say that? This C2 is the actual velocity at outlet, and H1 minus H2 dash is the actual enthalpy drop in the nozzle till the throat. So actual velocity can be calculated using the conditions of inlet and the n for the saturated or superheated condition, and H1 minus H2 dash will be the enthalpy drop. As we know, C2 is equal to under root of 2 H1 minus H2 dash into 1000. So this can be written as H1 minus H2 dash. So using this and putting all the values, H1 minus H2 dash can be found. We will use n is equal to 1.3, P1 is given, V1 we have already seen from the steam table or Mollier chart from here. Then P2 and P1 is already known, so we can have this, and then H1 is already known from here as we have read it from the steam table or Mollier chart. So H2 dash can be calculated. By using this we have calculated H2 dash. We will not calculate it using the isentropic process. S1 is equal to S2 or S2 double dash. Fine. So H2 dash will be basically equal to the HF plus X2 HFG. This can be seen by the condition which will be mentioned here, because we have seen that the intermediate pressure is 5.45 bar. So we will take HF and HFG at 5.45 bar, and H2 dash we already know. X2 we have to calculate, or we can also call it as X2 dash. So X2 dash is coming out to be 0.9760. If the X2 dash is it will come to be greater than the 1, then we will find the T superheated in that case. So by using this we obtain X2. Now we can also calculate S2 dash, that means the entropy at this condition, actual condition. So by using this, the formula for entropy of the superheated steam, sorry, wet steam, we will put the dryness fraction as we have calculated it. We will use SF and SFG from the steam table. Then we will have the S2 dash. Now for having the entropy condition at 3, what we will do now, as it is given in the question that the supersaturation occurring up to the throat only and normal afterwards. Normal means the isentropic. So 2 dash to 3 will be isentropic, so we can use S2 dash is equal to S3. So we have done it. S3 is equal to S2 dash, which is equal to this. Now by comparing the SG and the S3 in the same way at this 1 bar, we can have the condition as wet, and as we know that the condition is wet at this point, so it will be obviously wet at the 3. Fine. This you must know from the previous concepts we have discussed from the unit 2. So we have used the formula for wet steam again, which will be SF plus X3 into SFG, and we have equated it to S2 dash, which is equal to S3. So from this we will obtain X3. So X3 is this. Now we can have H3. H3 is equal to HF plus XHFG. HF and HFG at this is 1 bar. So H3 can be calculated as this. So for V3, what we will do, as I have told you that the enthalpy, specific volume of dry steam or wet steam having some dryness fraction can be calculated by XVG, because actual formula is XVG plus 1 minus X into VF. But as we know that the specific volume of liquid is very small as compared to specific volume of gas, and hence it can be neglected and only the gas specific volume can be considered. You will see this formula XVG plus 1 minus X into VF in some books. However, it can be neglected. So we have used XVG here to find the specific volume at 3. So it will be 1.5025. Vg from this will be seen from the steam table. Now C3 is basically equal to under root of 2 into H1 minus H3, and it will be into 1000 for conversion into for conversion of kilojoules into joules. So it will be 903.13. Now for having the area, as they have asked in the question, it is asked we have to find the diameter of the nozzle at the exit. This is the first thing. So for that we must know the area. We know the mass flow rate, it is given. We know C3 as we have calculated. We know V3 we have already calculated, seen from the steam table. Now so A3 will be equal to m dot V3 upon C3, and m dot is 5 upon 60. Why it is so? It is given as 5 kg per minute. So for conversion into per second, and as it will be the SI unit, so 5 upon 60, then V3 is 1.5025 and C3 is 903.13. We get the area as 1.386 into 10 to the power 4 meter square, or this is in centimeter square. So diameter of the nozzle can be calculated as we will take the area is equal to we will consider the circular section unless and until it is not given anything else, square or rectangular. Then considering the cross section to be circular, the cross section area can be calculated by pi d square by 4 is equal to A3, and by this we can calculate the D, which is coming to be 1.33 centimeter. Now for having other parameters which are asked, so they are the maximum degree of supersaturation and the amount of undercooling at the throat. So the formulas of these two I have already discussed in the video for supersaturation. So we'll directly use the formulas and then find out the two. So T2 upon T1 is equal to P2 upon P1 raised to the power n upon n minus 1 upon n. This is given in the question. Fine, I have already told you above. So T2 can be calculated as T1 into P2 upon P1, which is 0.546 raised to the power n minus 1 upon n, which n is equal to 1.3, and hence we get the T2 as 411.18 Kelvin or 138.18 degrees Celsius. Now if I know the temperature at T2, so T2 is known, but P saturation is what? It is the saturation temperature at the condition which is actual. So actual saturation temperature will be the saturation temperature at 138.18 degrees Celsius. It will be read from the steam table using the interpolation. So it is 3.44 bar. But the actual pressure, the ideal pressure, sorry, in this region is 5.545 bar, and the actual pressure due to the supersaturation is coming to be at this point. It is coming to be 3.44 bar, this one. Fine. So how we are calculating this pressure is, as we know that the actual condition is this. So this condition is at the 5.45 bar. This is after the sudden condensation which takes place after the supersaturation or Wilson's line. But the point till which the condensation cannot be maintained is this one. So we have to calculate the pressure at this condition. We have already discussed supersaturation in the last videos. So the actual condition will be some other pressure which is not the throat pressure, and the expansion from this throat pressure to this the condensation from this pressure to this pressure will take place suddenly at the Wilson's line. So we have now calculated the pressure at this condition. So it is 3.44 now. Now degree of supersaturation is given up by P2, which is the actual pressure, upon the P saturation at the actual temperature. So this is 5.45 upon 3.44. I have already given the formula in the theory. So it is 1.58, and amount of undercooling is given by T saturation at 5.45 bar, that means the throat pressure, minus the T2 which we have calculated above. So this is T2. So we will calculate it by 155.12, which we will see from the steam table at 5.45 bar. We can see the saturation temperature, minus 138.18, we will get 16.94 degrees Celsius. So the steam will be undercooled in this condition. Actually it should maintain the pace and it should be at the saturation temperature, but due to the supersaturated condition it will be undercooled and its temperature is lower. It is 138.18 degrees Celsius, and the amount of undercooling can be calculated as 16.94. So this was all about this numerical, and later we will discuss some other numericals of the nozzles. Thank you so much.